This is a resource for the international applicants who are applying to the Tepper School of Business, the Carnegie Mellon MBA program. We'll be taking you through the application walkthrough for the full-time MBA. This is a 2 years MBA program. And what are the requirements you should have ready before you start filling up the application? Let me just list out those for you. First is you should have your resume ready. You should have your transcripts in a scanned copy and your test scores, which you can submit the GMAT Focus Edition, the GRE, or the executive assessment scores. So if you have any of these, you can apply to the Tepper MBA program. If you are planning not to submit the GMAT or the test scores, you need to have a pre-approval on the waiver application. So there is a separate waiver application that you need to submit for the test waiver, and there are deadlines for that application. So once you start filling up your application form for Tepper, you should already have the test waiver approval in case you are planning not to submit the test scores. Otherwise, you will require the GMAT Focus Edition, the GRE, or the executive assessment to apply to the Tepper MBA. The deadline for applying for the standardized test waiver is October 15th for round 1 applicants, and it is Jan 5th for round 2 applicants. So make sure that in case you plan to apply for a test waiver, this is the date by which you should apply and get your approval. Apart from that, you'll also require the TOEFL or the IELTS score as applicable. Then you will require essays. You will also have to submit a video essay based on the prompt that is shown on the screen. And you will require a recommendation letter. The recommendation format which is used is the GMAT Common Recommendation Letter. So you can refer to that and share it with your recommender as to what he or she will have to submit to the school with respect to your candidature. So there is only one letter of recommendation that is required. Following this is the application fee that needs to be submitted along with the form. So let us see what the application form requires you to submit and the things that you will need to fill in. When you start with your application, you need to fill in the degree that you are applying for, the MBA program that you are targeting. There is an option of selecting from all the MBA programs and the joint degrees. So you can choose the program that you want to apply to, let's say the full-time MBA. And then you have to select the application round that you are applying to. If you are a reapplicant or not. So if you are a reapplicant, were you admitted and then you did not join? So were you admitted or not? That status also needs to be clarified here. And your relationship with the Carnegie Mellon University, whether you have been a student, staff, faculty, or alumnus, any of these apply, then you can add that information in this section. The next section is about the personal information that will require your contact details. This will require your contact number, your mailing addresses, your email address, and the biographical information about your candidature. So this will hardly take a lot of time to fill. The next section that is going to be important is the resume. So make sure you have the resume ready with reference to the requirements of the suggestions by the school in this particular section, which is to include your full-time, part-time, and volunteering positions that you have held. So your work resume will not be the same as your resume that you'll submit for the MBA applications. So make sure you're not submitting a purely technical or a work resume over here. You have to tweak your resume and see that it showcases your volunteering work, your leadership positions of responsibility, the initiatives that you have been a part of. All of this information needs to come in here. And then it is also very, very important that you put in the starting month and year for each of the positions that you have listed in your resume. The resume can be 1 to 2 page and the 12-point font is suggested. So don't make it like just to fit a lot of information on a page. Some people use a 9-point or a 10-point font, which becomes very hard to read. So you can take it to 2 pages, but use a 12-point font. Apart from this, you also need to upload the LinkedIn profile address. So make sure whenever you are applying for an international position, your LinkedIn profile becomes very important. It should always be updated. See that you have the URL clearly configured, as well as you are also active on LinkedIn. So this is a very important part of your application as well. You cannot start building your LinkedIn profile when you are putting up your application. So the moment you decide that you are going in for international applications, make sure that you are paying attention to your LinkedIn profile as well. Are you currently employed full time? This is also some information that needs to be shared here. Then you need to give in your current employer's name, salary details, and the position function that you are working for, along with the contact details. If you are self-employed at this particular juncture, then you also need to mention it over here. If there's anything about the employment section that needs to be clarified, then you can use the optional essay for this particular response. Are you financially sponsored by your employer? This is something that you can check over here. Then by any other organization, even that can go here. Your affiliations, if you have been a part of any other programs or any professional organizations that you have a part of, make sure that you are selecting those from here. Next is the employment section. So once you have put in your resume, you will already have the employment details sorted out, and you will know what are the important things that you want to talk about. You can start filling up the employer details, the employer name, the country, the statistics in terms of your position, title, compensation. What did you start with? What did you end with? And what is the website of the organization? Then about your the company, the industry, and what products and services are they working in? What are they manufacturing? And then reasons for leaving. So why did you leave this job and move to another one? Start with the current position first. So chronologically backwards, you list your employments, which whatever is the full-time employment that you have had in this section of the application form. Next is the section where you declare the work authorization, whether you have previously worked on a work visa in the United States. You need to check this option over here and then add the copy of your passport. So add this page if it is relevant. The education section. So have you completed an undergraduate degree? Yes, then you need to give the details of the undergraduate degree and the type of you have earned, and also add the major which is there on your transcript, information on the transcript. And is your undergraduate degree from an US institution? If you are an international applicant, then what was your final CGPA? And if you are the scale that was used for your transcript scale, enter that scale over here. And what is the highest degree that you have earned? You have a master's beyond your bachelor's, you can add that information as well. Did you attend your high school in the United States? Since this is for international applicants, we'll select no. And family information, if you're the first person who's going to college from your family, then you can add this information over here. And you also need to specify if you have a college level calculus course. So a lot of the applicants who are coming from the BTech background, they would have a college level calculus course. So they can select yes. If no, then you have to check this option. And then it is also important for you to go through the resources when you are admitted to Tepper that for covering the quantitative aspects of the program. The next section of the application form requires the transcripts. So by transcripts, we mean all the mark sheets that you have had. If you've been given transcripts, then you can add that. In terms of the transcripts, you will first ensure that all of this information, that it is a university transcript, it has been offered to you by the university. It has a degree name clearly there. The date is there, the certificate and the scale is also mentioned. It is usually on the back of the transcript. The grading scale will be mentioned over there. And if it is not in English, then you need to also get an official translation for your transcripts. So all of this information goes into the application form. So right now it is unofficial, and if you are offered admission, then you will have to arrange for the official transcripts directly to be sent to the school, either in the soft copy or in the hard copy, directly from your university. Are you applying for, there is a deadline for the test waiver application. So you can submit a test waiver application separately from the website section, the website application information section and the Carnegie Mellon website, or you can apply for it directly from here. Based on the criteria given by the school, whatever is the documentation that you have, which is relevant to establishing that criteria for you and showing your preparedness academically for the GMAT or the GRE or the EA test waiver, that needs to be uploaded in this particular section. So if you have a test waiver confirmation, upload that, or if you want to apply for a test waiver, that you can upload in this particular section. So you can expect confirmation within 10 days whether you are getting a test waiver or not. And based on that, you can take up this particular section. So this is the section for applying for a test waiver. From within the application form, there is another section which is outside of this application form, which is on the application information section of the website, where you can apply in advance and get to know whether you are being awarded the test waiver or not. For the video essay, you need to talk about your post MBA career goals, and you will have around 2 minutes to respond to this question. This recording will start from within the application form. So while you are filling up your application form, you need to go to the record now button, and once you start the test, you will record this response from within the application form. This is the video essay section of the Carnegie Mellon Tepper MBA application. And the next section is about the written essays. Apart from that, you have the optional essay. So in terms of career goals, you need to select your industry. You need to select the desired function that you want to go in for post MBA, and what is the desired position that you're looking at. Once this data has been put in, then you have to upload your essay. When you're uploading the document, the final document, make sure that it is not more than 500 words and it is double spaced with a 12-point font. When you're filling up your application towards the end of the application cycle, these are things that you might miss out on, but make sure that everything complies to what the school requires. The optional essay, as always, use it if there is anything that requires explanation. Let's say anything in your academic record, your GMAT or GRE scores, or in terms of a career break or employment details or your recommender selection, you can add all of this information in the optional essay. There is just one recommendation letter which is required as a part of the Carnegie Mellon MBA application. The GMAT common letter of reference is the letter which is sent out to your recommender. You can add the details of your recommender and send the letter to them for their inputs. One of the last parts of the application is to mention and specify your interests while you will be at Carnegie Mellon. So what are the student communities you want to be a part of? What are the professional clubs that you want to be a part of? So there is a list of clubs, and the information can be selected from here itself. So once you have done your research and you are closer to submitting your application, these are the sections that you need to fill. You need to select up to 3 student communities that you want to be a part of, and up to 3 top interests for the professional clubs that you want to be a part of. Just showcase your research and talk about the things that you plan to become a part of while you are at Carnegie Mellon, so that you can utilize the MBA to achieve your career goals. So this is about all for the Carnegie Mellon application form, and all the best. In case you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. We'll be happy to address them.